welcome to the stage Christel Arcucci.
Good evening, everyone. Julia, thank you so much for having me here tonight. I am delighted to be here with you tonight. So how many of you are offering some kind of service? You're in a service business. Great. How many of you love the sales part of your business? Nobody raised their hand. Great. Well, tonight I'm going to talk to you about heart-centered enrollment conversations, where it becomes a conversation that is from your heart and is speaking about what your offering is. And so when I say heart-centered enrollment conversations, does that sound more interesting than having sales conversations?
Yeah.
Is that a little bit more gentle? Wonderful. I'm Christel Arcucci, and I'm the creator of Soul-Centered Prosperity. And I want to tell you a little bit about myself, so you'll be like, who is this woman, and why is she talking to us about sales? But really, again, what are we going to change the mindset to? Not sales, but
Enrollment.
Sales.
Heart-centered
enrollment, heart-centered enrollment conversations. So we're going to talk about why that's important and how we can create that mindset shift and how it will change everything. So as a young girl, I was a kidpreneur. So I started businesses very young, and I was like the youngest of the six-pack, even though I wasn't the youngest in my family. My younger sister was 5 years younger than me, so I was like the youngest of the kids group in our neighborhood. And so I had to be really good at sales, right? Just to like keep up with the big kids and to like play along, because it was like they, could run faster than me and do things that I couldn't, because I've always been very tall, as you can see. So I was a kidpreneur. I was also an athlete and very creative and spiritual, which created a conflict for me. The spiritual creative part was okay and good, but of course in my upbringing I was told, well, artists don't make money, and you can't be creative and make a living. And being spiritual, like, you are evil if you think that you can make money as a spiritual person. So I was confused by that, because I was like, okay. So I just decided to keep those parts of my life very separate. That I was like, I won't tell anybody I'm really good at business. I'll just be good at business over here and not tell anybody. And then when I'm with the spiritual people, I'll just be like, never mind that I'm negotiating international contracts for $10,000 each. We'll just pretend that I'm just a yoga teacher. But then I was very successful in my healing arts business, and people started asking, how are you doing this? How are you traveling and making a living? And how are you doing this? So there was this curiosity from certain people in the community, but there was a bit of like being ostracized in the spiritual community for the business success. And so it was like I was leading these split lives. And at a certain point, I knew that my passion was to empower women to make money doing what they love. And it came to a point in my life that I decided that my mission was more important than what people thought. And my passion to make a difference in the world was unstoppable. And that I didn't care what anyone thought. And that certain people were going to cheer for me, and certain people were going to be on board and say, I want that too. And then other people were going to be like, you're evil, you're greedy, you're whatever. I was like, fair enough. So one of the exciting things that's happened for me recently was I wrote a chapter in a book called In Pursuit of the Divine, became an international bestseller in the happiness category. Yay for happiness. Yay. And so in the process of writing the book, it was very powerful in that it wove together so many parts of my story, and it helped really burn past my fear of being burned at the stake, because that's what it really came down to, was that there was part of me that was afraid of my own power. There was a part of me as a woman, because as women, we're taught not to be powerful. And we're taught not to be fully ignited in our mission. And there have been times in history where we were burned at the stake or killed or stoned, or, there's still places in the world today where women don't have the freedom that we have. And so in my own journey of stepping into the fire of my power and saying, I will not shrink anymore. I will not hide from my power. I have to take a stand for my mission and for the women's lives who I want to change. And for the women who are waiting for me to stand up in my power and lead by example. And so it was in that moment of willingness to be ignited and to align my mission that everything changed in my business. And that the power of my mission, the power of my heart, was the shift and the message that had to be shared for me. So now when I'm speaking about my work, it's an invitation. It's an invitation for women to step into their power. And so every conversation I have, whether it's an enrollment conversation or it's speaking to somebody at a networking event, how can I be of service to women on a mission? How can I be so powerfully aligned with my own mission that it ignites your mission within you? How can I be that example that supports you to burn past the fears that are holding you back? And so for me, each conversation is this powerful opportunity for transformation. It's a powerful opportunity for each woman to shift. So in my conversations, whether they're connection calls, which are when, I call up people and say, how are you? I met you at Julia's event. And what are you excited about? What is holding you back in your business? For me, it's an opportunity. It's the stage, right? It gives people that opportunity to align their message, their mission, with making change in the world, which is my passion, is supporting other women to be the change they want to see in the world. And each one of us in this room, from what I know of all of you, you all have a mission that wants to create positive change. And so when you're having conversations, sales conversations, what you're selling is your passion and your mission to create change. And right now, the planet is in crisis in so many ways. And so we need people who are ready to stand and take a stand for their mission and say, I'm here to create a change. I'm passionate and I have skills to share, and healing tools and ability to communicate and market to create the change that we need and want to see in the world. So in these heart-centered enrollment conversations, I want to invite you to create that mindset shift, that sales conversations, what you're selling is the transformation that you offer. You're inviting people into your community. You're inviting people to support your mission, which is a mission of creating positive change. So in standing in your power and aligning your message with your mission, I want you to tap into the power of your heart when you're having conversations, and know in your heart that you want to do good things for the world. And so why would you hold back from offering that? My name is Christel Arcucci. I have a talk coming up at the end of this month at East Bay Women's Savvy on the 24th of July, where I'll be diving deeper into this conversation of heart-centered enrollment conversations. I would love for you to join me there, and thank you so much for being a wonderful audience. Good night.